The Red Rock upper grille replacement that we have here today would be a great choice for the 09 to 14 F-150 owners going for that Raptor styling in black, but would prefer to keep that factory blue oval emblem proudly displayed front and center. Now this grille will pack a durable automotive grade ABS plastic construction, along with that matte black finish, and of course your amber LED running lights, all for right around the high $200 price point. Site's gonna call this one a pretty strong 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, maybe a couple of hours to complete from start to finish, as we'll show you later in the video. So swapping grills on your F-150 is a relatively easy and inexpensive way to totally change up the look of not only the front end, but also switch up the vibe of the entire truck in general. Now maybe you're just trying to ditch some factory chrome, possibly upgrade a base grill. Whatever the case, an aftermarket option will help get you there. Now on that same topic, guys, one of the nice things about the grill category in particular is just the sheer number of options you have to choose from, ranging from mild to wild and really everything in between. Now, in fact, if you don't believe me, feel free to check out the rest of our selection for the 09 to 14 trucks back on the site, just to get a better sense of what I'm talking about. Now, this option to me is gonna be 1 part Raptor grill and 1 part Super Duty grill. Thanks to that bold bar running across the middle, it's gonna give off more of a modern vibe and still retain that iconic blue oval emblem. And that's not something every grill offers, by the way. Now, as far as Raptor inspiration is concerned, that's pretty clear, right guys? You've got the same honeycomb design for the grill itself, along with your 3 amber LED running lights up top here. An extremely popular addition lately for a lot of truck owners out there, not just the Raptor. Now materials are gonna be very similar to that of your factory grill as well, because you are looking at that durable and lightweight ABS plastic. And with this particular option, it's finished off in matte black, which I really like because I feel like that just goes with everything, matches some of the black plastic on the exterior of your truck. Or if you've gone with kind of that blackout look with smoke lighting, black wheels, obviously this is an easy fit for that as well. Now the grill itself has been designed using OEM Ford CAD data, which will allow the grill to install like a factory grill, but more importantly, will fit like a factory grill. So you're not gonna see any weird gaps or imperfections here once installed. Now the grill again will reuse your factory front emblem, or you can use this as an opportunity to maybe switch out to something different. Blacked out emblem, sometimes they have the emblems that light up. Whatever the case, you can do that, or just simply reinstall your stocker if you'd like. Last but not least, guys, the grill does include the 3 amber LED lights running across the top here, along with all of the wiring needed to get them up and running. Now, if you didn't know, these running lights will tap into your factory headlights, so therefore they will illuminate anytime your parking lights or your headlights have been switched on, and definitely give off a pretty cool vibe when in action. But now we want to shift gears and get into the install. And again, site's going to call this one a pretty solid 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, maybe an hour or 2 to get everything in place. Now the actual physical grill swap itself will be a breeze on this particular truck, but because there is a small amount of wiring needed to get those amber LEDs up and running, it's going to stretch that install out maybe a little longer than it normally would. But regardless, to give you a better idea of how that wiring will go down and what it takes to swap the grill on your 09 to 14 at home, feel free to check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown.
The tools you'll need for this project are a Phillips head screwdriver, a T25 Torx bit, a 10mm socket, a short extension, a ratchet, soft trim removal tool, a flathead screwdriver, wire cutters and crimpers, and/or a pair of pliers. Hi everyone. Today we're going to be replacing the grill on our F-150, but before we can do that, we've got to get the old one uninstalled first. So let's get started with that. So the first thing we have to do is remove these 2 brackets, one on each side of the grill, using our 10mm socket. There's 3 bolts on top and 1 on the bottom, so let's get those taken out. Now there are 4 nuts along the top of the grill that hold the grill to the hood. For our purposes, just to speed things up, we've already removed half of them, so we'll go ahead and remove the other 2 right now. Now we can remove the last 2 nuts on the ends of the grill and pull it out of the hood. Now we will be reusing a couple of pieces off of the stock grill, such as the front emblem and this lower brace. So let's go ahead and take those off using our 10mm socket for the grill, for the emblem, and a T25 Torx bit for the lower brace. All right, once you've got the nuts removed from the back of the logo, we can use our flathead screwdriver to lift up on these black tabs here and here to release the studs so the emblem can actually be removed. Now we can just push the emblem into the new grill and reattach the nuts. Now in order to put the nuts back onto the emblem, we'll have to remove these 6 brackets and lift the grill out so that we can attach the nuts. Now we can reattach our brackets. Now we can go ahead and reattach our lower brace using our original hardware. Now we can install our new grill onto our hood, making sure that the 5 spring clips at the top line up with the 5 slots at the top of the hood, and then we'll attach our nuts. And now repeat that process for the other side. Now we can go ahead and run the wiring harness to our LED lights in the grill and run them down into the engine compartment and get those ready to hook up. Now you can use your soft trim removal tool to remove the 2 outside push pins on the hood insulation so that we can run our wire underneath that. So we're going to connect our wires to the corner marker light of the headlight. So in order to do that, we'll need to take the headlight out first. So using our 10mm socket, let's go ahead and remove the 2 bolts on top and the 1 bolt in front. All right, now the kit does come with a couple of Scotch lock connectors to be able to tap into the 2 wires for our corner marker light. Our truck already has a different type of connector, so we're just going to attach a couple of spade bits to the end of this and then plug it into our system. But to use these Scotch locks, all you have to do is insert one end of the wire into the Scotch lock, slide the other end over the other wire that you're connecting to, squeeze it together with a pair of pliers, and lock it down. And that'll get you your power that you need. So let's go ahead and get our spade connectors attached to our wires so we can hook it up now. Now our red wire from our grill harness is going to tap into the yellow and green wire from our side marker light, and the black wire is going to go to the other wire. Now that we've got everything hooked up, we can go ahead and reinstall our headlight. Once we get our headlight reinstalled, then double check your routing of the wiring harness to make sure that it's not near any moving parts or any extreme heat sources. And then you can use the supplied zip ties to secure them along the way. And that wraps up our review and install of our Red Rock upper replacement grille with LED lighting and emblem surround in a matte black finish for the 09 to 14 F-150 excluding Raptor. Thanks for watching, and remember, for all things F-150, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.